Tuesday, I want to do a couple of things. First, I want to share with you my new studio. So I hope that this will be a really fun way for us to work on some tips and some projects. And I now have this new awesome space to work with and show you all what I've been working on. And just want to give a great big shout out to my sweet husband who made me this stand-up height table for my projects, and so grateful for him and his wonderful talents on this table. But for today's Talk Time Tuesday, what I want to share with you is some ribbon storage ideas. Now, I know a lot of you have all kinds of fantastic ways to store your ribbons, so these are just a couple that seem to work for me. The first one I'm going to start with, let me grab my little jar here. It's just a small glass jar, and they can have a lid or not. They sell these at a lot of craft stores. For me, this was an old wax candle jar that I happened to pick up at a closeout sale. But if you purchase these little clothespins, and some people like the wood spools, or you can even do pieces of chipboard, you can just wrap up your leftover pieces of ribbon, and you've got them in a really handy, easy to grab system. Now, I really like this system, and it was fun for a small while, but if you're a ribbon hoarder the way I am, you know that this is just not enough space for all of the ribbon that you can accumulate, especially in a couple of years. So that's a really great way if your ribbon supply is kind of small. Now, for those of you that like kits, or you just can't help buying those great big bolts of ribbon, this is a much funner way to store some ribbon. This is a great big brandy jar, but these glass jars come in all kinds of shapes and sizes. You can pick them up at your home decor store, the big box craft stores. This one I happened to pick up in Utah. It's a little store called Taipan Trading, and it has some wholesale home decor stuff, and it was 50% off, so who doesn't love a great deal? And for these, you can store entire bolts of your ribbon, and you can see all of the yummy colors and the amounts that you have, and you can reach down in there deep and grab what you need, and it's a great decor piece as well on my craft table. So I'm really loving this system, especially as I get to working with a whole bunch of layouts. I want them really handy. Now, for those of you that have been to my scrapbook retreats, you've seen this monster a time or two, and I love this system. I could have done a whole lot of other things, but when I want to be portable and I want to have as many ribbon choices with me as possible for my retreat ladies, I like to take this big monster. And up here at the top in this compartment, you can see that I have entire bolts of ribbon. I can see if I can tip this so that you can see it better. And I also throw in a pair of scissors. But I've got entire bolts just like I do in this container, and I don't really color coordinate because they get picked over a lot, but I've got a lot of popular colors, shears, and 3/4 inch size silk ribbons. All of the most popular colors are things that I know will be in demand, and that's what goes there in that top half. My favorite part, however, is this bottom half here. So as I open up this big giant tote, and this, by the way, is by a company called Creative Options. This first half, you can see, is just a slim in depth size container. And what I put in here are a lot of my American Crafts ribbons. These are all, specialty colors that a lot of time coordinate with their product. So I put those smaller pieces in here. I'll set that up there for just a second. And then this next size, you can see what a bit deeper that is. And so what I did for myself and for my ladies was to create color cards. And so I took just a piece of leftover chipboard, and I take all the ribbons of a particular color that I have, and I can pull some off of bolts just to make sure we have a good variety, and I can insert here some color cards into all of these spaces. Just to show you a couple others. Here's like a pink version. Here would be a smaller version of some colors. I can even do seasonal, like Halloween colors. And you can really customize these ribbon cards to just about anything that you want. And I really like this system because, believe it or not, I actually have thousands of colors and pieces of ribbon available for people to use in this system. And the very bottom drawer here is where I go with more. I also do some bigger ribbon cards, when I wasn't sure what size chipboard to cut. These are some of my bigger ones. But I also like to put in the ribbon cards that you can get from certain manufacturers. So I'll just throw the entire ribbon card in here, and you can see as I flip through those how many I can actually store in here. And this is just a big open bin space, and I can stuff those really tight, all kinds of colors, all kinds of manufacturers and collections, and I can keep that really handy. And the whole thing conveniently stores away in this one not too heavy container. Close this back up. That doesn't take up a whole lot of space. Oops, let me shut that one better. Either on your crop room or taking it to a retreat. So I really enjoy the ribbon center, and I'll just show you real quick. We made a fun little vinyl saying here on the back. But it's a great way to take thousands of color options with you if you need to take that to a crop or like a weekend getaway. So my ladies get to use that. They really have enjoyed it, and I've never yet had anyone not find the piece of ribbon that they needed. So thanks for stopping by today. It was a pleasure showing off my new space, and hopefully this will be a fun way for us to share in the future. Bye-bye.